Hi guys, how you doing? Papa K here, hope you're all well. Today we're going to look at some of the FlatwireUK products. Big huge thanks to Daniel Littleworth. He sent me some products to basically show you guys. I got a chance to buy one of the brass by Scottua. So this is going to be the sort of main mechanical device that we're going to look at today. This is the brass. Try and zoom into that. We'll show you better in close up anyway. But if we can zoom in, come on. Come on. There we go. The brass by Scottua. So this is a fully solid brass mechanical 18650 mod. I've currently got the, oh gosh, it's quite old actually, about 18 months old now. This is the UK edition brass tugboat, the first tugboat. So yeah, it's pretty old school. And it looks gorgeous on top of the brass by Scottua. Quick vape. All those clouds from a little tugboat. I mean, yeah, the tugboat is very old school, but it's a great little RDA. And on this Scottua, on this mech mod, it is just absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Now this mech is not a hybrid device. It does actually have a proper 510. Oops. Take that off. There we go. It has an adjustable 510 top cap. But because of the way it's designed and milled, it does actually look a bit like a hybrid. Pops on like so. And it almost vanishes. I mean, the milling is that perfect. It's just beautiful. Beautiful device. Really, really pretty. So what we'll do is we'll go to the close-up, show you how the brass comes packaged, and come back up, have a vape, and I'll chat about some of the flat wires that you can also get as well. So back in the mo, guys. See yous. Right, let's take a look at the brass by Scottua of STC Designs LLC. This is number 402. This is the tube that it comes in. A couple of magnets in the bottom. I'll tell you what they're for. Right, open it up. Right, this washer here is actually for underneath the 18650 battery. Let's open this up like so. Right, and here we have the brass. Absolutely beautifully machined piece of brass. There's a switch. The brass by Scottua. This 510 top cap is so well machined you can barely see where where it joins onto the tube. Unscrews like so. There we go. And this is our tube. And then you can see at the bottom of the tube we already have one of these. And basically it just sits under the magnet so that there's no shorting. Under the magnet, under the battery, sorry. It sits under the battery so that there's no shorting from the switch. It comes with two of these washers. The device is 22mm in diameter, and with the top cap fitted it is 96. From top to bottom it's 96mm in height. So yeah, it's quite a small, even if it has got this 510 top cap, it is. It's a very nice device. Alright, let's show you how to take the spring out. Find this. You've got this circlip inside here, and you just nip the circlip in there. Oops. A little knife.
Right, you put the knife under here carefully not to damage the brass, and then just slide it around. Slide it around the circlip until it comes out, like so. Come on, out you come. There we go. So there's a circlip. Here's the button. Nice solid lump of brass there. And here we have a custom made 18 gauge beryllium copper spring. That is a really good quality spring that's in there. Now you can get a magnet conversion for the switch. There's your venting holes in the bottom. The device vents really well. There we go. So that's this washer out. Let's put a bit of light on this situation. Right, there we go. You can see the machining quality inside the tube. It is super smooth, absolutely super smooth. The threading is fantastic. Threading is really, really well done. It's 20 by 1 threaded top cap. Now, there's no hybrid adapter as yet. Right, magnets. You can convert the brass to a magnetic switch. One there and one there. Nope. Try putting them the right way. There we go. Then we have a magnetic switch. But to be honest, I prefer the beryllium copper spring. The spring feels much better. Circlip just pops in like so. That's it. So that's with the magnets in place. Doesn't vent as well with the magnets in place, as you can see at the bottom, because the vent holes are actually covered by the magnets. It vents much, much safer with the spring in place. Let's take a battery and put the battery in. Now you've got your, on the top cap you have this very heavy duty 510 adjustment. This is a peak insulator. So there's your peak insulator, which screws into your top cap. Like so. And then we've got your 510 adjustment here and your battery rattle adjustment. As you can see, it's a very good bit of copper. Decent size. Feels that the threading feels fantastic. Feels really, really good. If I can find an atomizer. Right, what I usually do is take the top cap, pop this on, like so, and then take my atomizer, screw my atomizer down, like so, tighten up the 510, adjust this down, and gently rock it back and forward just to tighten it up. There we go, that's it, in place. And that is the brass by Scottua. Let's go back, have a vape and tell you what I think.
Okay then, that was a close-up of the brass by Scottua. To be honest, I mean, okay, it's not a hybrid. It's got a spring in the switch. There is magnets available, but as I said, with the magnets, I prefer the spring, to be honest. With the spring in place, the venting is fantastic. When you put the magnets in, the venting's a bit tight. So for safety's sake, I would stick with the spring with the brass. It's £65.95, available from FlatwireUK.com. I'll put a link in the description below. To be honest, I think it's a fantastic mechanical device. It's extremely well machined. The threads are gorgeous. You've got that peak insulator up on the 510 top cap. That lovely solid, piece of copper. You've got that the battery rattle adjustment, and you've got the 510 adjustment. It's well machined. It's a really good bit of copper. Well, 2 bits of copper because it screws together. The switch is lovely. It's got a perfect throw in it. Oh. Currently, at the moment, I've got, if I can find it, right, I've got Ni-Flat 24 gauge in the Twisted Messes Gold Edition up here. I've got a 0.3, can you zoom in, I've got a 0.3 ohm dual Ni build in here with the flat wire. So it's not too low, more for flavour really. But you saw it, it's throwing the clouds out. That's 0.3 ohms, 0.3 ohms, and it's giving really good vapour production. It gives the power up to the atomizer really, really well. It's consistent. The switch is consistent. The switch is comfortable. It's for £65.95 for this beautifully machined piece of brass. It's well worth it. Well worth a punt. I mean, I know that I believe that there's the copper as well by Scottua, but I think that's probably, I think it's about £110 for the copper. But the brass, to be honest, it's a budget quality mechanical 18650 device. I mean, this is, it's budget, but it's really good. And that Ni flat wire is absolutely fantastic. So overall, with the brass by Scottua, I think it is a fantastic piece of kit. Well worth the money, £65.95, extremely well made, well put together, it performs flawlessly, it is fantastic, and I love it. To be honest, at the moment, it's probably my favourite mech. I mean, I do like my mechs. I mean, I've got my Endless mod. There's 3, or actually no, to be honest, there's 4 mechs that I use at the moment. I've got my Noisy Cricket, which is series. I've got my Cam mod by Kryptonite Vapor, my Endless mod, and now I've got the Scottua. But the Scottua, since I've got it, it's the one I'm using all the time because it's just simple. The switch is simple, the put it together is simple, it just works, and it works really, really well. So yes, I love it. It's a fantastic piece of kit. Sorry, I'm that's something like an old lush. Anyway, regarding the flat wires, what we got here? We've got, this is the Ni flat. It's Nichrome 80 flat wire. I've got 20 gauge, 24 gauge, 19 gauge, which I probably won't use because that was seriously low, and 22 gauge. The Ni flat wire is available for £5 a packet from FlatwireUK.com. Let me just double check that. Sorry, FlatwireUK.com. Yeah, FlatwireUK.com. Daniel Littleworth is the man behind that, and it's a fantastic site. Prices are really good. And we've also got this stuff. This is what I've got in my mods at the moment. This is Texas Tuff sub-ohm cotton. Lasts up to 3 times longer, high heat resistance, No more hot hits. Organic grown in Texas, sterilised for safety and use. This stuff works so well, and that's a strange thing. I mean, I've been using Muji cotton, oh gosh, what, 18 months at least, and when it starts to get dry, you'll get that burnt taste, that not quite a burnt hit, but you know that you need to juice up again in your dripper. With this stuff, you're not getting that burnt acrid taste. You know that it's going to get dry because it's, you know, the vapor starts to fade off, and then you know that it's time to re-drip your dripper. But this Texas Tuff, don't know how they make it. I just know that it works. It's really, really good. Sub-ohm wicking cotton. Yes, £5.50 I think this is from FlatwireUK.com. Quality stuff, very quality stuff. I mean, you all know that I love the Flapton wire. Flapton wire, I believe, is £8 a packet. Actually, what's the length? What is the length? Cotton wire. Right, Ni-Flat. Additional information. It's not actually telling me how long it is. Oh. There's 19 gauge. Let's open this up. Right, that's 19. Gosh, that's really thick. That's really thick. That's a 19 gauge. So for your £5, you're getting a lot of wire. Serious. I mean, I think it's about 10 foot comes to mind for some reason. 10 foot. I think it's 10 foot you get in this. But yeah, that's, I mean, that is a serious amount of Ni-Flat. Trying to get a close up so you can actually see how flat it is. But yeah. The reason I love Flatwire so much is because it's easy to use when you're wrapping it around your coil jig, and because it's flat, it seems to hold the juice better. Because you've got that larger surface area, it just creates the vapour much quicker, and it holds the flavour. I can't actually remember the last time I used ordinary Canthal wire, ordinary, you know, round wire. I use Flapton in my Moonshot, my Griffin. I've got standard flat wire that I've been using in my Snapdragon RDAs. I just like the flavour and the vapour that comes from using the flat wire. It's extremely good, and it's cheap. You know, £5 for, well, we think 10 foot. But yeah, it's well worth the money. I've just literally finished my roll of Flapton wire, and I had that for, gosh, 4.5 months, and I've just finished it. Sadly, FlatwireUK.com is out of stock, so Dan, give me a shout when you get more Flapton, please. Anyway, guys, that was just a look at the brass by Scottua. Massive thumbs up. I do love that mechanical 18650 mod. Okay, it's not a hybrid, but it performs just as well a hybrid. We've also had a look at the Ni-Flatwires and the Texas Tuff. Anyway, guys, thanks very much. Take care and chat to you all soon. Bye.